Welcome to the AgriMinds podcast. If you're in agriculture and feeling the weight of responsibility, juggling work, family, and everything in between, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Casey Bull, coach, speaker, and founder of AgriMinds. Each week, we'll talk about the real side of leadership, how to think clearly, manage your time, set boundaries, and show up with intention, both at home and in the field. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the AgriMinds podcast. Today, I want to share a story with you. Now, I have changed a couple of these details to protect confidentiality, but everything that you're about to hear today is real. I was visiting with a client recently, and she said something that made my stomach drop. She looked at me and she goes, "Casey, I feel like I'm carrying the weight of everything right now." I didn't really get too shocked about that. That's not what made my stomach drop. Because if I'm honest with you, I hear some version of that like daily, whether it's with clients or just people that I know in agriculture. Everybody says that to me. I feel like I'm carrying the weight of the world right now. And maybe you feel that too. But here's what got me. She kept talking, and the more that she shared details around what was really bothering her and the deeper that we got into the conversation, it became very clear that she was the person everybody came to. She was the one that people called when something wasn't going right, whether it was equipment wasn't working the way they wanted it to, or the crops weren't doing what they wanted it to, or relationships or family dynamics and decisions and plans and all the things. She was the one that people looked to when they didn't know what to do. She was the one that her family leaned on when things got hard, like, "Hey, thanks for letting me vent to you today," kind of thing. She was the one who kept everything moving. She kept the peace. She was like Switzerland in this gigantic war and chaos of everything going on around her. She kept it all together. She was the grounded, neutral perspective, and everybody came to her for wisdom and advice and comfort and support. And she was being very honest with me, and she said, "I was proud of that at first. It felt good to be the one people trusted. It felt good to be the one who had it all together when everybody else looked like their lives were hitting the fan, right? It felt good to be the person that looked like they had it all together." And somewhere along the way, something shifted, because what used to feel like this purpose, this something to be proud of, started to feel like pressure. And then she started noticing that people came to her when they needed something. But when she needed something, she couldn't think of a single person that she could actually call, that she could trust with what she had going on. She was carrying everybody else's problems and stress and emotions and all the things, but she had nowhere to go of her own. She didn't want to really burden anybody because they had so much going on in their own lives that she didn't want to add to their already full plate. So what did she do? She kept it inside. That's the part that started to make my stomach just really turn and flip upside down and just feel really strange. Because I've been there too. And if you're listening to this, you've probably experienced this at some point where everybody on the outside thinks you've got it together, but you don't really want to show that you're struggling for whatever reason that is. And that just breaks my heart. It really just breaks my heart that you're dependable and you're strong and you got it together. But when the moment happens that you need somebody to lean on, you're looking around and there's nobody there. And that just, oh God, that just makes my stomach yucky. But here's the part that hit the hardest. Everyone around her thought she was doing great. People told her how proud they were of her. People said they wished they could handle things like she did. And the whole time, she's spiraling out of control and nobody knew. She was exhausted. She was overwhelmed. She was frustrated, and she had nobody to talk to about it. And here's why I'm telling you this story. Because if you're in agriculture, you're probably experiencing this in one way, shape, or another. You didn't get into this industry because you were fragile, right? Like you work hard, you build stuff, you carry responsibility, you are strong. And at some point, that's how people started to view you because that's what you led on, is that you were strong and that you're resilient, right? You're the one who figures it out. You're the one who doesn't complain. You're the one who gets it done no matter what. But here's the dangerous part. When you start believing that you have to be that person all the time, and that if you're anything other than that, if you show one little moment of weakness, you've failed. If you show one little inch of dropping that armor, wham, it's all over. And that's just simply not true. My client didn't come to me because she thought she had a people-pleasing tendency. That's not what she typed into her prep form. Casey, I want your help. I want to work with you as my coach so that way I can stop people-pleasing. That is not why she came. She came to me because she was burned out and she couldn't figure out why. She was doing everything right on paper. She was working hard. She was showing up. She was there for people. She was getting results. But underneath all of that, she completely lost herself. Now, before you check out because you don't see yourself as a people pleaser and you're like, this episode maybe isn't for me, stay with me for just another second, okay? Most people in agriculture don't identify with being a people pleaser. Most agriculture professionals don't identify with that label, just like most farmers and ranchers don't consider themselves an agriculture professional. And honestly, I don't know if that word even fits our industry, but here's what it does fit. Maybe you're a problem solver. Maybe you're a helper, a leader, a provider. And when we start peeling back the layers on what's actually going on, we often find that some of these patterns do tend to lean towards people pleasing.
Hey, it's Casey. Can I invite you to something real quick? If you've been wanting to expand your circle, meet new people in agriculture, or simply just get out of your own bubble for an hour, I'd love for you to join us for AgriMinds Engage. This is a free, fun, laid-back virtual event where agriculture professionals from all over come together to make meaningful connections, share ideas, and build relationships that often last well beyond the event itself. You never know who you're going to run into here. Someone might open up a new door for you, reconnect with someone you met years ago, become a future collaborator, or simply just turn into a great friend. One of my favorite parts is watching complete strangers leave feeling like they found their people. If this sounds like something that you'd enjoy, click the link in the show notes to learn more and register for the next event. I'd love to see you there.
Now, let me walk you through 5 ways that this shows up. And I'd bet at least a few of these are going to land with you. The first one, maybe you've become everybody's emotional landing pad. You know what I mean? Someone has a bad day, they come to you. There's a conflict in one way or another, and you're the person who they come to vent or to help smooth it over. Maybe a family member is struggling. You're the first person that they call. And you do it because you care. You do it because they're family. You do it because you care about them and want to see them be successful. But when being the person everybody leans on becomes your identity, you stop just carrying your own weight and you start carrying theirs too. Or instead of worrying about yourself, you carry their weight instead. And in agriculture, where the baseline stress is already through the roof, man, that adds up fast. It starts to feel heavy fast. The second thing that I want to share with you is that maybe you're the person who avoids hard conversations. How many times have you let something slide because bringing it up felt like more work than just handling it yourself? How many times have you tolerated something, an employee's attitude, a family dynamic that doesn't quite fit, a business arrangement that's not working, all because addressing it felt like it could blow everything up? So you just maybe ignore it, or you just hope somebody else figures it out. And I want you to sit with this one, because sometimes keeping the peace comes at the direct expense of your own peace. I know so many people who are like, I'd rather suffer in silence than rock the boat with everybody else. It's just easier if I made sure everybody else was happy and I just put my own feelings on the back burner, especially when we work alongside family, right? Or we've got people who we have business arrangements with generation after generation, right? This one runs deep and I get it. The third one that I want to point out, and I know that this one is going to feel a little uncomfortable. Are you the kind of person who actually is giving advice that nobody asked for? I have totally done this. Somebody starts sharing something with me, and I instantly respond with a solution for them that they didn't ask for. Sometimes we're the person who we put that burden, we put that responsibility on our own shoulders, and nobody asked us for it. Sometimes we jump in to fix things because we just genuinely want to help. But sometimes we fix things because it makes us feel valuable, makes us feel needed, like we're earning our place. If I can solve your problem, if I'm useful, if I'm needed, if I am somebody who matters in your life, boy, that's a tough pattern to break. And it's a tough one to see in yourself, but it's absolutely worth looking at. Because are you trying to solve somebody's problem because they actually need your help solving it? Or is it because it's going to make you feel like you're worthwhile, that you're useful? It's tough to see in ourselves, but it's definitely worth taking a look at. The fourth one I want to call out is maybe you refuse to ask for help. Maybe you will drop everything to pull somebody else out of a jam, but when you're the one underwater, you'll find a way to figure it out. You don't want to bother anybody. You don't want to look like you can't handle it, so you just keep trying to figure it out until your body or your relationships or your mental health make the decision for you. And this one, man, it's like almost being a hypocrite. I've been there before. I know how hard it is. It's really easy to say, oh, you're struggling? Let's talk about it. You should ask for help. You should talk to somebody about it. But when I'm struggling, oh, no. I'm good. I'll find a way to figure this out. Is that resonating with you? Yeah. Maybe you actually refuse to ask for help. Maybe it's not that there's nobody else out there. There are people willing to help you, but maybe it's too hard to ask for help. Maybe that's something worth looking into. And the fifth and final one that I want to call out is maybe you're hiding how you're actually really doing. This is where my client's story hit me the hardest. Nobody knew. Nobody knew she was struggling. She let on that she was fine. Nobody knew how close to the edge she actually was running because she was so good at looking like she had it together. People believed she had it together. And so when people ran into her, they'd say, hey, how you doing? What's she going to say? I'm good, keeping busy. And then you move on, right? And it's like, hello, nobody knows you need help. Nobody wants to offer help if they don't think you're struggling. If you pretend like nothing is wrong, they're going to think nothing is wrong. But I don't say this to make you feel bad. I don't make this comment to, make you feel like you're full of shame or judged or anything like that. Here's what I want you to hear from me. The answer for my client wasn't to push harder. It wasn't a better system or a new time management strategy or having stronger boundaries. It was just recognizing that something she'd been missing for years. Not everything is hers to carry. And I know that that sounds simple, but for someone who's built their entire identity around handling things for everybody else, yeah, it's tricky. It's a new perspective. It's a shift for sure. But not every problem is yours to solve. Not every emotion is yours to manage. Not every conflict is yours to fix. Not every person has to be happy with you. You have to be happy with you. And when my client started letting some of that go, when she started setting real boundaries and having honest conversations, not just with herself, but with other people around what's actually going on, and she started to let people see the real version of her instead of this polished one, people didn't pull away. They got closer because they could relate to her and they didn't have like this wall up around anything. Like they were able to just truly understand where each other were coming from. And that changed the dynamic. It changed the conversation. It changed the relationship. Authenticity creates connection. Perfection creates distance. And in our industry, I know we celebrate toughness. And I do believe that toughness has its place. But the toughest people that I've worked with are the ones who figured out that asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. So here's where I want to leave you today. Take an honest look at your life right now and ask yourself this. What am I carrying that may not actually be mine to carry? And maybe even more importantly, who do I have in my corner? Not someone who needs something from you, not someone who's financially tied to your decisions, not someone who's invested in a particular outcome, but who in your life gives you space to be honest, to process what's really going on, to figure out what is yours to hold and what do you need to let down. That's what this client found. And it changed everything for her. And that's also a big part of why Agriminds exists. Not just to talk about leadership or communication or strategy, not to be the place that you just come to vent, but to actually be a space that's productive for people, for agriculture professionals who are carrying a ton of things and they don't have many places to set it down. They don't have many people to turn to that they can trust or rely on or depend on or actually feel like it's a safe place. And that's what I have built. And if today's episode has resonated with you, I hope that you're going to sit down with this question this week. I hope that you figure out what's yours to carry moving forward and what are some things that you can set down. And if you are looking for a place to have conversations that are productive and yes, have a safe place to get it all out and set it all down in, I invite you to join us inside of the Agriminds experience. I want to thank you for being here today, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, make sure that you're following the Agriminds podcast so you don't miss what's coming next. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, send this their way. These are the conversations that more people in agriculture need to hear. Talk to you next time.